Welcome to our today live, Touch as a Forgotten Language. I have my special guest. Let me add Sarita. And I see Sarita. So she joined the live. Now I will add her as moderator. Let me add Sarita. Yeah. Let's see in a moment. Sarita is coming. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Hi,
Perhaps it's going
Sarita.
sideways.
Yes, something. Check maybe your laptop.
How does it? I don't know. We have to turn it maybe.
Welcome, welcome. One moment. We're having little technical adjustments, and we're starting very soon. You can maybe post where are you logging in from? What are countries on today's live? Maybe you can post. I'm right now in Bucharest, in Romania, and I'm curious, where are you guys? Sarita is in Bali, in a beautiful Bali. And we're almost there, almost there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
I'm,
Hey, Sarita.
I'm not used to doing the Instagram live. I usually do on Zoom, so
Right.
I'm first
Yeah.
time trying this.
This is also first time I'm doing this live on my Instagram fan page. So
And can you hear me? Okay.
yeah, I can hear you well. I can hear you
I
well. So
think I need
what?
to. Can you get some paper or something I can put under to? It's a little weird. Okay.
So I see Eva
Is the
is
visual okay, Nisarga?
is what?
The visual is okay.
It's very good. You look beautiful. Great to see you. So, welcome everybody on this live. Today I invited very special guest. Sarita is a dear friend of mine, but she's also an amazing teacher, master of Tantra, spent all her life since she was 16 or 17, if I'm not wrong. Sarita can correct me. She spent her time on working on herself, being with Osho in India and communities, and for many years traveling around the world and sharing her passion, which is Tantra and touch. She's teaching many different modalities, tantric modalities, but also she's teaching tantric massage. So welcome, Sarita. I'm very honored that you take this invitation.
My pleasure to be here. So if everybody could just say if you can hear me okay.
Yes, yes, we can hear you. We can hear. It's good. Sound is
Good.
good.
So it's my great pleasure to be here. I love Nisarga. He's such a good friend. We've known each other for many years, and I know he's an ace #1 body worker, incredible body worker, and fabulous person. So it's my great joy to be
Thank
here.
you, Sarita, for taking this invitation. You are very dear to my heart. I'm very fulfilled in my life right now, but big part of this fulfillment is your support. When I was starting my journey, you were the first one that initiated me to pay for my bodywork session. I
Yeah.
remember I was in early stages. I was giving a lot of sessions as a practice, and I had this belief that I cannot charge for my session. You cannot charge for something you like. And I remember I gave you Lomi session in India, and at the end of the session, you really like insisted to pay me, and I said no, no, no. But then somehow you insisted so much that you were my first paid client, and then I something opened up in my field of abundance. I'm deeply grateful to you for the rest of my life. You were a big part of my journey.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember that you said, okay, if you want to pay me, just give me like a small amount, like just a token. And I said, no, I'm paying you full amount because you're already so gifted. I've had many body work sessions. Yours is one of the best. That means you're ready, and now just go for it. And you
Yeah.
did.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is creating a lot of shadows.
So the topic, the touch, the forgotten language. It's a beautiful
Yes.
topic. We both touch lovers. You teaching also touch amongst many different modalities. So why you choose touch? Why touch is so important, you think?
Well, I think it's very important because, as I've heard Osho say, and I've also experienced, when we touch, we come into the present moment. And you know, mystics down the ages have been giving this one very powerful message: be here now, be in the present moment, because all else is illusion. And when we're in the present moment, we're stepping beyond time and mind. And one of the things I love about Tantra is it's helping us to step beyond time and mind, but through pleasure also. So the pleasure of touch can become a portal into present moment awareness. The reason is because as we're receiving the touch, this is not happening in the past or future, it's happening now. We're feeling the touch in this very moment. Therefore, it becomes one of the best entryways into deep meditation. Of course, that will happen when we are applying conscious touch, as Nisarga is teaching so elegantly about conscious touch, being present with your touch. And so I love all forms of massage. Like I go wherever I am, I go to massage therapists. Sometimes they're very good, sometimes they're lousy, but I still enjoy because touch for me is a portal into deep meditation. And
Mhm.
so I've experienced so many different kinds of massage and with different masters of touch also. And here in Bali, we have master healers as well. And I really adore teaching also Tantra massage. We have the Tantra mystic massage training, which Nisarga used to teach with me
Yes, yeah.
as well. Yeah, we had so much fun teaching that together. It was absolutely fabulous. And
Mm.
so, yes, touch is the portal into deep meditation if we understand the art of that.
Beautiful, thank you. I feel that you mentioned something about conscious touch, and when sometimes I have students, I have the students asking me the difference between conscious touch and unconscious touch. I give like a very simple formula that with conscious touch, first of
Nisarga,
all, there is
you're getting frozen.
um, I think it might be on your side. So let's see if your internet is back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you better now.
Okay. I think sometimes in Bali your internet is getting lower.
Yes, it happens. We never know
Yeah.
when it's going to go a bit haywire.
So I was sharing a little bit about conscious touch, my understanding of conscious touch that sometimes students asking me that has a few different steps. In the first step of conscious touch, first of all, before we even touch, we connect with the intention. Why I'm touching, from which space I'm touching, because our hands are extension of the heart. So we, through the touch, we can really connect with this loving presence. And then the second stage is where we are in the stage of pre-touch, when we're reaching towards the person, understanding that we're not just a physical body, but we are energetical bodies. So when we come towards somebody's field, that's already kind of pre-touch. And then finally, there's this landing when we gently land on the body. In your tantric massage, I learned one. I remember one element which was like you were teaching landing like a butterfly on the body. And I like that because that's kind of third element when we land on the physical body with conscious touch is this soft butterfly kind of aspect quality, and then we can sink in into superficial or deep layers of the body. So I'm wondering how you explain your students what conscious touch really means, because it's such an important topic.
Well, it is, as you described, very consciously coming in through the auric field. So if we suddenly put our hand on somebody, it's shocking. And it's even a kind of aggression on the other, because it's like you wouldn't just come to somebody's house and barge in, just enter into the house. You knock on the door first. That's just a general politeness that we all do. And so the same as when you're going to approach somebody's body, you want to come in slowly. It's like you knocking with the auric field, making sure that you're welcome, and then you go further and then you touch. So just that the awareness of that process is very, very important. And before doing that, to tune in and make sure that you are in pure presence, in loving devotional service, and then you come into this process of approaching the body. And once you make contact, once you have that permission and you make the contact, it's as if our touch is melting inside the body of the other one. And that's helped by what I call just being present with a blessing touch. So maybe the hand is there and we're touching, but we're not thinking we have to move. So the nervousness, the mental activity and nervousness that we have to go somewhere to some goal is not there. We're just landing and we're just present, sensing into this person and just being there. And you can literally feel as if your hand is melting inside of the person's body. It's like they letting you in, because you're not in an aggressive state. You're just there, present in pure loving devotion. And then they let you in. And then begins the massage from that point. So this is one of the things that I teach to my students. And we see
Beautiful.
huge difference when that is experienced by the person.
I really like this sentence you said about melting, coming into contact and melting, and then the person letting in. Because I think with the touch, the person who is receiving touch in the first 5, 10, 15 seconds, they decided if this touch is safe. We need to create this safety for the person that can let go and invite, because touch become kind of awkward in today's world. Like people are getting a little bit awkward about touch. I think touch has a lot of connotation with sexuality and sometimes the dark side of sexuality, the abusive side of sexuality. So teaching that the trusting about intimacy and touch, especially in tantric massage that you do, is, I think, such a huge gift for people that could have experienced the touch being um, not so conscious, to be able to relearn and trust the touch as a loving present space. So it's beautiful.
One thing that I think a lot of people don't realize or don't think about is that all of us are connective beings. Human beings are meant to connect with each other. Just like if you see chimpanzees in the wild, they're always connecting with each other. And we have a lot of DNA that has, similarities to chimpanzee. We're meant to be connected from the cradle to the grave. We are meant to be touched and to touch. To isolate ourselves and not receive touch is actually detrimental to our physical, mental, and emotional health. And it's been proven in some studies that children have better development of their mental capacity better health, better adaptability if they are touched as babies, they're cuddled and held, loved. And the same goes, like I had a friend who had opened up a nursery school in Scandinavia. In the nursery school, they did an experiment where they were teaching massage to preschoolers before they went to the normal school. They were already learning massage. And what was discovered is that those children were actually much better adapted to the education. They were learning faster, they could absorb the information better, they were more effective with each other. The incidence of children being angry, throwing things was much, much less. They were more loving to each other. And so across the board, it was found to be a very, very positive thing to include massage as part of the early childhood education. And of course, I think that into all through the school years, the children need to continue learning the art of massage in more and more refined aspects. There's a loud sound. Is that
Yeah,
coming?
1 second. It's because I think it's because of me. I need to ask somebody to switch off the thing. 1 second. Can you give me 10 minutes? All right, I'm back.
You want
Sorry about that. I'm back. I think now it's the sound is better. I hope sound is
to?
better.
Yes.
So there is this beautiful article. I will share it also. The article that we talked about to Sarita before. It's also article about touch being a forgotten language, and I will share it later. It's a beautiful article on touch, written by enlightened master Osho. And part of this article, at the end of this article, he mentioned that touch should be play. If you make it profession, love it, enjoy it, and it has to be playful. It cannot become like serious, um, like serious activities. And I totally agree. I feel like this aspect of playfulness is very important for me, so I don't get bored when I teach it or when I give it to the clients, because there's this aspect of freshness each time, seeing each person with the fresh eyes, each person as an individual. And I never find myself doing session and just counting time or when it's gonna be over, because it's just a joy for me. So I wonder how do you help your student to cultivate that playfulness in touch, because it's I think important aspect.
Basically, if we can master the technique is important to learn. And then once we master that, then we can start playing within that technique. It's just like when you learn to drive a car, at first you feel very serious because you have to shift the gears and steer and the brakes and this and that. So you're trying to maneuver everything. But once it's integrated in you, you can speak, you can sing, you can listen to music while you're driving and you're not distracted and everything is flowing nicely. So in the same way, it becomes like our second language. We just know what we're doing, and then we can flow with it and play with it in so many different ways. And we can adapt it to each unique being who is coming to us, because each being is a little different. Some people, they need a very soft touch, like you shouldn't go too deep. And some people, they need a very deep touch and they need strong, more strength used. And so I think it's a dance, actually. It's a dance between two beings. And there's something that I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about it, but I think it's important to mention it, that when we are massaging or being massaged, energy is moving. And it's possible that sexual energy will also be stirred. And I think in the normal world of massage, that is cut. Like, don't feel that. So then there's a kind of uptightness about that. But in the world of that accepts, for example, tantra massage, we will start sensing a circle of energy moving between the session giver and the client. Now, that doesn't mean you're getting sexual with the client. When I say energy, I mean vital life force energy, which includes sexuality. It also includes love. It also includes spirit and prayerfulness. That energy is circulating in us if we're open, and it will go through us, it will go through the client, it will come around again. And we are in a circle of vital life force energy, which is eminently healing. Where people go wrong is if they feel any sexual energy, they think they have to act on it. So this is an erroneous idea. What's actually important is to just be very present, allow energy to circulate without thinking we have to move in a certain direction. We're just present, allowing energy to circulate. And this in itself is tremendously healing for the receiver. It's very, very deeply healing because it's non-threatening and it's tremendously healing. So I think probably, Nisarga, you must have had a lot of experience with this also. Maybe there's something you can comment.
Yeah, yes, definitely. That's a quite common question. I'm here in the place that is a little bit loud. Is it loud?
It's very loud just now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in the hotel. I'll try to find a place where I can be more quiet. I think this is more quiet. Let's see. I found some outdoor space. All right. Ah, okay. Let's see. Is it better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. So yeah, definitely, this is a very important topic. Many times I hear how do I acknowledge sexual energy for the clients and allow it, but also don't don't withdraw from it or don't shut down. And I think it all comes down to very clear boundaries in the beginning, what modality we are offering, and being just natural about it. And I think if somebody is accepting their own sexual energy, then when that comes for the client, it's not awkward, it's not something unusual. We just need to very clearly and simply address this topic beforehand, and I think, and then the clients also can relax about it. That it's not a taboo, that it's allowed, and it's a part of their energetics, it's a part of their being. So it's very, very important. I'm curious, Sarita, one aspect. Sometimes with touch, because I use touch in many different ways. I use touch in body work, in massage, in breath work, in cognitive therapy, and sometimes I feel that it's important to ask for consent about touch. And I might be asking a client, is it okay to be touched? Is it any parts you don't want to be touched? And then the client might sometimes say, okay, like I have a lot of tension in my belly and I would like not to be touching the belly. And then there's these two sideways. Okay, how do I respect the client's boundaries, give them consent to understand, and then how I can mirror back that perhaps this tension in the belly needs actually touch, and how about how to create that safety, that an invitation, how do you create that invitation that the client can open up for possibilities of being touched into some areas that they feel completely disconnected or challenged or emotional.
Well, there's two different ways. One is that you acknowledge their boundaries and you say, okay, in this session, we're just going to do like this and this, as you have asked, and that's perfectly fine. And once you've experienced my session, if you want another session where we can also address this issue in the belly, for example, that's also possible. So I would acknowledge what they want and open the door for another possibility at another time. and then do this session exactly as they've requested. And then they will start thinking about, and they'll feel that your touch is very safe. So then they might say themselves, oh, I really want to work on this. So next session, let's do that. So then it comes from them. You've given the invitation without pressuring or forcing in any way. Another possibility is, which I like to do, is I tell the client, in this session, I'm going to be using this kind of touch. And then I will demonstrate maybe on the arm or something. So I might be using a caressing touch, a kneading touch, maybe a squeezing touch, and different, like maybe a tapping touch or whatever it is, a chopping touch. So all different kind of touch. So I'll just demo, these are the kinds of touch I'm using. And is there any of those touches that you would not be comfortable with, and we won't include it. So they understand this is what's coming in this massage. And usually in that sense, they feel very comfortable because they feel like they're being honored, they're being considered, and they're being invited to already be included in the process of the massage. Yeah.
It's fantastic. I'm so happy you're on this live, Sarita. You bring so much wisdom, and when you talk, it's so, yeah, so connected, like so present. Beautiful, beautiful. So we have now 20 people on this live, coming on and off. So if you have any questions, I'm asking audience if you have any questions to Sarita about the touch, about our discussion, please put on chat, and we'll be happy to respond to it. It's so nice to have you on the chat. Tell me, Sarita, what do you think is required for a person to become a good, you know, touch magician or a good therapist, or what is the way? Because you need to have specific skills to really be good at that, and I'm sure it's a practice. You need to keep practicing. But what in your opinion you looking for if you go for a massage therapy or for body worker? What for you? What qualities of that person for you are significant? Significant. What you look for?
Someone who's very grounded, who's comfortable in themselves, where energy is circulating and flowing, and that when they touch you, you feel like the hand is sinking into your body, and you feel so comforted and at the same time enlivened. Like that touch is very alive, it's warm, it's connected, and also it's meditative, because as far as I know, whatever thoughts are going on in the person's mind are being transmitted through the touch. So I'm sure everybody's experienced that, where you go for a lousy kind of massage where the therapist is not really present. They're thinking about maybe what they're going to have for dinner, or they're projecting, okay, they're going to have a date with somebody, and you can feel that their thoughts are somewhere else and they're touching you mechanically, and that's literally going inside the body through the
True,
massage.
true.
And it's not very pleasant. And also you might have had some massage where you feel that person is actually lustful, and that you don't want to receive. It's an unwelcome kind of lust coming towards you, and you feel like, ugh, get away from me, that's slimy. Sometimes you might be shaking the hand of somebody, and it's like shaking a dry, dead branch because there's nobody home. You know, there's all these different kind of touch, and it's all linked to whatever they're thinking. So I think a criteria of a really excellent massage therapist is that they're able to be in a state of emptiness and pure devotional service, where they're not wandering somewhere in the mind. And of course, that takes the practice of meditation. So working with a meditative kind of approach to touch, I think, is very, very valuable, because ultimately you're in the service of the divine. The divine is flowing through you. That's what makes you a very good massage therapist, because you're
Beautiful.
just in devotion, in devotional service nervous and let the divine work through you and work its magic.
I really love that being devotional service, and I totally agree that the thought pattern can really be felt through the touch. And I'm glad you said about meditation because that's the way to work with just witnessing. Because yeah, I'm curious how would you explain now a little further about this no mind state? Because you talked about when we come with this into this divine service, we want to cultivate this no mind space. So are we just how do we how we get rid of these thoughts or what is the process of this no mind space?
Firstly, if you try to get rid of the thoughts, they'll come in double force. I'm sure you must have heard that story
Mhm.
about monkeys. It's a very beautiful story.
Tell
It
us,
comes
tell
from
us.
India.
I love
So
your stories.
there was a guy and he really wanted to learn meditation, and he heard that there's a guru in the mountains in the Himalayas, like somewhere far in some caves somewhere. So he determined he's going to go there and become his disciple and learn meditation. He took the long journey. He finally reached that cave, and that guy was a hermit. He didn't want to be disturbed, actually. So he saw this guy coming from the village, very eager to learn meditation, and so he basically wanted to get rid of him. So he pulled a prank on him, and the guy said, "Yes, master, I want to serve you. I want to learn meditation. I'll do anything. Please, please, please." And he went on and on, begging, nagging, etc. So finally, the master said, "Okay, I will give you the great secret, the greatest secret. Are you ready?" The guy said, "Yes, yes, I'm ready, master. It's so amazing. I'm so grateful." La, la, la. And then finally, the master said, "Okay, this is the secret. Don't think about monkeys. Whatever you do, whatever you're doing in your life, just anytime, any place, do not think about monkeys. That's the secret. That's the ultimate secret of life." So the guy was so happy. "Oh, I can't believe it. This is amazing. Thank you, master. Thank you, master." And he started back down the mountain to his village. And he didn't get very far before he started thinking about monkeys. And finally, halfway down the mountain, he was tortured by monkeys. It's like they were crawling all over him. They were whispering in his ear, pulling at his hair. Finally, he reached down the mountain. He thought, maybe I'll get some peace now that I'm back home. No, there were monkeys everywhere. Like everywhere he looked, there were monkeys. He was tortured by those monkeys. He couldn't even sleep. So finally, after about 3 weeks of that, he was so fed up, so freaked out. He rushed back up the mountain to the master. He said, "Now, I don't care about enlightenment, meditation, anything. Just take away these blasted monkeys." And the master started laughing. He said, "Okay, I'm removing it, and I'm removing these monkeys. Everything is fine. Go back to your life. Enjoy. Thank you, master. Thank you, master." And he left. So this is a story which is indicating when we try to push something away, it comes back in greater force.
Mm,
So we can't just say, "Okay, no mind." That won't
mm,
work.
mm,
All we need to do is simply witness the mind. Just like you would look up at the sky, you see clouds passing. So you don't focus on the clouds, you look beyond the clouds to the infinite blue sky.
mm,
That's the secret. We have within us thoughts, they pass, but in between those thoughts, there's gaps, there's empty spaces, there's silence. So instead of focusing on the thoughts, you don't fight with the clouds and say, "Clouds, you shouldn't be there." Clouds are there, you just let them pass and you keep focusing on the blue sky beyond the clouds.
mm.
So this is the secret, and I hope it helps everyone.
Yeah, I love this analogy about the clouds passing by on the blue sky. It really helps me sometimes when I meditate. That it's not like what you said. It's not about removing the thoughts. It's just about accepting them and letting them pass.
just
as a
witnessing, being
witness.
a detached observer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the intention of the heart, I think it's so important, the conscious touch.
yeah. Energy follows intent. So whatever we intend, there the energy will flow.
Mm. So nice, so nice.
Did anybody ask any question?
I don't see any question. Anybody maybe have a question? Please put on the comment. I see many people following us. Thank you for joining Sarita and myself for this live. This is live about touch as a forgotten language. We both are very passionate about touch, and so maybe somebody has a question. I don't see any questions. We have many followers. How do I enjoy my husband's touch? Lisa is asking. Sarita.
So I think you can just ask your husband to worship you when he touches you, then you will enjoy his touch. But you need to do the same to him. Touch him with devotional worship, and then he will also enjoy your touch.
So beautiful, yeah. I think also Lisa maybe maybe having a conversation with your husband, and maybe he needs to learn maybe more conscious touch, or maybe have a course, or somehow learn how to be present, slow down, and feel his heart when he's touching you, and just be more connected to himself. And so this could be a journey for him to learn how to be more present, and do some work on himself. But as Sarita says, I really love that you maybe offer him that beautiful conscious touch, and when he feels that, also he will give it back.
And maybe Nisarga, they could come to you for your beautiful Lomi Lomi course, or one of your massage courses that you're offering very often, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I do. So, but yeah, but so definitely my courses or your courses also in Bali that you have in
Yeah, I'm
soon.
offering a Tantra Mystic Massage training. That's also very beautiful.
Yeah. So there's another post. Hi Sarita, I respect you. I wanted to ask if it is about chemistry, or can you build chemistry with someone? There are people that are instant connecting with you and others don't. I wonder what is the journey about that.
The thing about chemistry is either it's there or it's not there, and nothing can be done about that if it's not there. Now, if you're wondering if you have sufficient chemistry with somebody to have a relationship, for example, I highly recommend getting a human design session done, to which will look at you as a couple and to find out how many electromagnetics you have together. Because I've often seen couples that maybe they love each other a lot, but if they have zero electromagnetics together in the human design map, they will never be compatible sexually. It will not happen. I've seen so many examples of this. So then it's better to be in loving friendship with such a person. Don't imagine that will become a sexual union.
Mm.
And so you can ascertain that through the human design. It's very effective, and it will help you so much in moving forward in that relationship dynamic.
But I wondered, so that if there's no chemistry, can you juice up relationship in some way to create the dates and like
No, if
no?
no, if the because I'm talking about biology here, if the physical chemistry is not there, it will never be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's fixed by our biological program.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Okay.
can't change that. It's
Mm.
very interesting. There was a survey done about kissing. I was reading about this in the Scientific American magazine. they did some scientific study about kissing, and they found out in the first kiss, the body chemistry already knows if this will be a short or long relationship. If long, how long, and whether there will be children, and if children, how many children. The body chemistry already notes it all down like a computer program. It already knows in the first kiss. Whether we are aware of all that, that's another matter, because sometimes people take years to find out, oh, actually, that wasn't really a good chemistry with this person. So if we can become sensitive enough, then even in the first kiss, we may become aware of what our chemistry is saying.
Wow,
Really
incredible.
fascinating. Our bodies are much more powerful, more intelligent than we give credit for.
Incredible. Wow. So we all know already in the first kiss.
Yeah,
So
it's
cool.
already all in the whole program.
I have another follow-up here on chemistry. There's a follow-up. I don't think my chemistry is there with my husband as it used to be. How do I get it back? We used to be so sexual. So how do I get back to that chemistry that was in the beginning of relationship?
Yeah, that's of course very important to understand, because if there was chemistry and then you lost it, there's different reasons, but I just say that the basic reason is because for the first 3 years of being together, we have what are commonly called honeymoon hormones. And then it shifts into what you could call nesting hormones. In the nesting hormones, there's more desire for cuddling, connecting, being cozy together rather than hot passion. However, you can regain those honeymoon hormones through doing actions which are similar to what you did in your honeymoon. So if you just think about it, what were you doing in your honeymoon? You were sending hot text messages, you were writing poetry to each other, you were going on amazing dates, doing different interesting things, you were very creative, very inventive, you were hanging out for hours just gazing into each other's eyes, caressing, kissing, maybe not just jumping into bed straight away. You were taking time to get to know each other. You were going on adventures. So then once people start living together, somehow they get into a habitual pattern and just like fix the pattern of how they have sex, when they have sex, and it becomes monotonous and boring, and they stop dressing up for each other. They stop getting excited about that they're going to meet. They stop writing poetry to each other. So they stop all those activities that used to happen in the honeymoon. And then they wonder, what happened to our hot chemistry? Just use your brain and start doing those things that you used to do in your honeymoon, and you can actually restart the whole excitation and delirious love that was there in the beginning. It takes some intelligence. You have to apply your intelligence and just go for it, even if it might be challenging in the beginning because you got into a rut. So you have to unwind that rut and start fresh. And every relationship goes through peaks and valleys. So sometimes the relationship will really be on a high, deep love, passion, etc. And sometimes it goes through a small death, and you have to let it die, and then you let it restart. And as it's restarting, bring in those wonderful elements that you remember, which were stirring so much passion.
Mm, beautiful. Do you think it's possible to maintain relationship on this high level of intensity, hot chemistry, fire all the time? Is that possible?
No, because it's the same as when you have sex, actually. You're going through peaks and valleys, but
Hmm.
many people, they don't allow that. Like a man might think, I have to stay hard all the time. But that's not realistic, because existence flows through peaks and valleys every moment. It's changing. Sometimes there's yang, excitement, then there's yin, there's a resting phase. We're going through that 24 hours a day, these waves of yang, waves of yin. The same thing happens during lovemaking, that there are hot, passionate waves, and there's waves where there's no passion, where you're just resting, merging together in deep silence. And if you have equal waves of yin and yang in a lovemaking session, that will be tremendously fulfilling. And the same thing happens in life, but it will be the same kinds of waves, sometimes very passionate, happy, sometimes very deep, peaceful, restful, where nothing much is happening. And then again, there will be a wave where you lift it up. We need to accept these waves, just like where in the day our energy is coming up, in the night we rest. If we don't accept that we need to rest, we will become super agitated and can even become insane, because we need that deep dropping into silence, into stillness, into nothingness, and then we get recharged. So we need to really appreciate, accept these waves of yang and yin. And those waves of yin are so fulfilling, so nurturing. It's as if we're in a deep state of meditativeness together. So sometimes in a relationship, there will be a phase like that, where you're just into cuddling and not doing much and just hanging out, and you feel like everything kind of stopped. If you relax into that, then it will come up naturally by itself.
Beautiful.
Renewal, love. It's very special.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Beautiful. From the touch, we're going into alchemy and relationship. I knew it's unavoidable with you because you're bringing so many
Unavoidable.
assets.
Yeah. Because
It's not,
you
you
know,
can't stop on touch.
the moment that people hear the word tantra, then they have questions about these issues. So those
Yeah.
have to come up.
So there's one follow-up, another follow-up from Alisa. I sleep alone, so I love my own space, but my partner get upset that I like my own space. So how do you deal with that?
Well, I think it's an illusion where when couples think that they should sleep together every night for the rest of their life. I think that's a very ridiculous idea, because as human beings, we need our own space from time to time. We just need to recharge in our own field, our own energy field. And that will actually, by having space, it will create more desire to come back together. And that in itself can help to create more spark in the relationship. And so it's also this also brings us to the subject of the human design, that some people are wired to need to sleep alone at least some of the time, that it would be damaging or detrimental to their well-being if they're sleeping with somebody else all the time, because they're the type that absorbs the energy from the other one. So they would literally be dreaming the other one's dreams, picking up on their energy, and then that can be very exhausting. Now, of course, it's beautiful to merge energies, but we can't do that every moment of every day. We need to have some space and then coming back together, flowing, and then we can really appreciate that space of oneness.
So maybe just honest conversation with the partner so they don't freak out. It's a matter of abandonment or rejection, but just a conscious conversation about that private space to rejuvenate.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Wow, a few more questions coming after this one. If you have a child with your husband, but you know that he isn't fulfilling your needs, he he tries, but we like sexuality, we like in sexuality different things. I feel he does not see me, not feel me. It's not really question here, just sharing. The distance could. Beautiful. Yeah, there's some nice comments from your talks, Sarita. Beautiful. So the desire distance creates polarity, and that's very healthy in relationship. Very, very nice. So Sarita, how we can find you? where you give your work, your trainings, your sessions. I know you're in Bali right now since COVID, many, many years. How people can find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram very easily. And of course, I'm also on Facebook and I have a website, anandasarita.com. And I do groups mainly in Bali, but also in India. Sometimes I go to Thailand, and I have, part of my team. They are also teaching in Europe, and those groups are interchangeable. Like if you do some group in Europe, it's complementary or interchangeable with groups that are happening in Bali. And I think it's really good if you subscribe to my newsletter so you keep updated on whatever is going on and in the world of Tantra Essence. We do have a really beautiful team of teachers who are just absolutely awesome. And yeah,
Wonderful.
stay tuned. And we also have online courses, a selection of online courses.
Mm.
So just stay
Yeah,
tuned.
you have a beautiful team. I follow your team. I know some of your team members, and it's amazing what you're offering for people. So follow up Sarita on her Instagram, and she will do also tantric massage in Bali next year in January, right?
Yeah, that will be in January. There will be the Tantra Mystic Massage training, 1 month professional training to become a practitioner of Tantra massage.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, everybody, for joining this amazing live, Touch the Forgotten Language. I will share also this article from Osho that is really beautifully describing the power of massage. And have a beautiful evening in Bali and day in Europe. And thank you, Sarita, so, so much. I will see you in Bali. I also come to Bali in January, so I really want to hang out.
Super.
You're
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely,
Thank
definitely.
thank you,
Lots of love,
everybody. A lot
everyone.
of blessings. Bye.
Bye.